crowning a champion right here in Avondale, Arizona. The NASCAR Cup Series returns to the Valley to crown a champion for the second straight year. This is Sports360AZ. Glad to have you along for the ride. I am your host, Devin Henry, and to get ready for NASCAR Championship Weekend, first and foremost, we have to talk to a member of the first family in NASCAR. Kyle Petty will join us later on in the show to discuss NASCAR Championship Weekend and why NASCAR chose Phoenix Raceway to host this fantastic event. Our own Claudia Collins sits down with track president Julie Giese about her upbringing and the future of Phoenix Raceway. Glendale, Arizona's own Daytona 500 champion Michael Mcdowell will come and join us. Tickets for a lap around this difficult 1-mile track. And Jordan Spurgeon has the story of one football player turned Tucson star into NASCAR Cup Series champion. We are presented by Desert Financial Credit Union, taking care of you, taking care of your business. That is Desert Financial Credit Union. We appreciate Desert Financial Credit Union and their support year-round. Well, of course, the rules are simple. 4 drivers come into this race with a chance to win a championship. All they have to do is finish in front of their 3 other competitors. Still a little difficult because there are 36 other guys trying to win the race as well, and the other 3 guys probably aren't just going to let you win that championship race. This year's championship 4 is comprised of this year's wins leader, Kyle Larson, defending champion Chase Elliott, the winner at Phoenix back in March, Martin Truex Jr., and one of the best to never hoist the trophy, Denny Hamlin. To talk a little bit more about the NASCAR Cup Series Championship, as well as Phoenix Raceway itself, we brought in a driver who was in that inaugural Cup Series race back in 1988, analyst for NASCAR on NBC. Yeah, we talked to the one and only Kyle Petty. Are you excited to finally come somewhere this postseason where it's supposed to be warm outside?
Keyword supposed to be warm, but yes, I am. It is good to get out of the South. It's good to get out of the Northeast. It's good to get to Phoenix, and forget the weather. It's good to get to Phoenix because of the racing. I mean, the Cup stuff has been so intense this year. It is crazy. You wouldn't think it had been that intense with Kyle Larson win like every other race, it seems like. But you know what Denny Hamlin has done, what Chase Elliott has done, what a lot of these guys have done, have put together impressive years and deserve that opportunity in Phoenix.
And once we are here at the track for the NASCAR Cup Series race, it's winner takes all. That's it. All you got to do is beat the other 3 competitors in the race for that championship. Who do you think has the biggest advantage being at Phoenix Raceway?
You make it sound so easy. All you got to do is beat the other 3 competitors. This is Cup racing, man. It's not that easy. You have got to give the nod to Kyle Larson. You just have to. I mean, look, when you look at the year that Kyle Larson has had, not only in Cup, but in dirt cars, sprint cars, dirt asphalt, or asphalt cars, it doesn't make any difference what he set in this year. He's been a winner. This is a year that every driver dreams of. When you start racing, you dream of being able to, like you said, dream of being able to jump in anything and win. And that's it, man. That's it. It's his year.
And last year when Chase Elliott won the championship, he hadn't had a win. He ran really well. He had poles at Phoenix, finally broke through and got that win. Kyle Larson, no victory at Phoenix, but you look back at the last few races that he's ran there, top 10s, top 5s sprinkled in. But looking at that dog-legged 1-mile oval, both you and your father Richard were at that inaugural race back in 1988. In your mind, what makes Phoenix Raceway worthy of hosting the NASCAR Championship?
You know, I think the track itself does. So let's just look at the history of the track through the IndyCar series. We go back to, man, I ran the first time there in 79, 80, 81. We run a West Coast race there and came out there. So even before the Cup guys came, I think the history of the track is just one piece of the element. I think the other element are the NASCAR fans that are in the Phoenix area, the NASCAR fans that come out of Nevada, that come out of California, that come out of New Mexico, that come out of West Texas, that come there. It's the fans. If you live on the East Coast, man, you're in NASCAR heaven. I mean, you can go to a lot of different places. On the West Coast, we have few opportunities, and Phoenix is a show place. What they have done with that facility has been amazing. But they did that not for the competitors. They didn't do that for the guys that ride around in circles out there. They did that for the fans. And I think it deserves this race because of the fan base that we have in Arizona.
Chatting with Kyle Petty, a multi-time NASCAR Cup Series winner and analyst for NASCAR and NBC. Dude, you have had a ridiculous fall season. I gotta look back and look at the Kyle Petty charity ride across America because pandemic, it's completely obliterated this past year. I know that you guys want to get out there, raise money for Victory Junction. And so you said, you know what? We got to do this. So you guys did a revival tour, if you will, to go ahead and get you guys out there, raise some money for Victory Junction. And this is the busiest time of year for you. You have to travel to the races. You have to be there for NBC on top of all of your other already doing duties. And then you have this on top of that for Victory Junction. Why did you decide, hey, you know what, man, I know this isn't the time of year that we do this. I know I'm really busy right now, but this is a priority to get done right now.
Okay, first, this is why the thing's shaking. So I'm babysitting a little bit. Sorry about that. But
no worries.
It's not babysitting because it's my kid. So that's the way it is. But the thing is, you know, we felt like we had to have the charity ride to stay in front of the public. 2019 was our 25th anniversary of doing this thing, man. And it was crazy. We went from Seattle, Washington to Key West, Florida. We went all the way across the country. This year, or in 2020, you know, we had to back it down. And we couldn't do it. We were coming to Phoenix. That was our ride, man. That was our 26th anniversary ride. We were doing Phoenix, Lake Havasu, Flagstaff. We were going up to Bryce Canyon, over to Monument Valley, back down to Sedona, and then back to Phoenix. So this year we just did a revival. We did a short ride, but we are headed back to Phoenix in 2022. That's our ride. We're going to leave from the Wigwam. We're going to ride all out through Lake Havasu, ride up to Flagstaff. So Arizona is going to be tired of Kyle Petty and the Kyle Petty charity ride by the time we ride through your state for a solid week next April or May. But we are really, really excited about it.
I'll see you in Phoenix, man, where we crown a champion. Thank you for your time here today, Kyle.
All right, man. Thank you very much. Say bye. Bye.
On the other side, Claudia Collins will sit down with Phoenix Raceway track president Julie Giese. Jordan Spurgeon tells the story of John Giannotto, now a NASCAR champion from Tucson, and Glendale, Arizona's Michael Mcdowell, the winner of the 2021 Daytona 500, takes us for a couple of laps. You can check out all of our content at sports360az.com, all Arizona, all the time.
I'd like to sign up for free checking.
Happy to help. There are no fees, no minimum balance, and you get more.
And more?
Yes, you get an annual bonus and cash back and mobile apps and voice banking and you get to support the community.
I should have brought a bigger purse.
Life is busy. Your hands are full. But with Desert Financial, they're full of cash, convenience, community, and more.
We are IBEW.
Local 640.
Local 640.
How do you play? By making a splash? Upping the ante? Feeding your inner foodie? Or by just finding your zen? For all the ways you play your way at Harrah's Auction Casino in Maricopa. Play for all.
I'm Tim Hovick, owner of Santan Ford. Let me show you around. Now, I know what you're thinking. Car dealers. Raise money in these places. You can never get a good deal, right? Wrong. Santan Ford, we work hard to make sure our customers get the best deal in the Valley. We'll beat any price. Satisfaction guaranteed. How about the all-new F-150? Check. In red? Check. The Mustang Mach-E, and the return of the iconic Ford Bronco. If you want it, we got it. And this is the Santan Ford Quick Lane, where we service all vehicles from the past, present, and future. Bet you haven't seen that before. Did I mention we service all makes and models? Yeah, of course we do. David, what were you doing yesterday?
Walking.
And what are you doing today?
Driving.
It's Santan Ford. That's what we do. I'm Tim Hovick, and we are Santan Ford.
We are Santan Ford.
Bienvenidos.
Here in the heart of the American Southwest, you'll find 3 well-known restaurants all named Valle Luna, serving the finest Sonoran-style Mexican food known across the country and beyond. And we're open for business, so come on in. We've fired up the grill and iced down the refreshments and even added some specialties along the way.
Thanks for coming.
Hello. Greetings.
Welcome back.
No matter where you're from or how you say it, at Valle Luna, you're always welcome, and we're glad to have you back.
I found this home and it was just perfect. We talked about our financial options on how to acquire the house.
Thanks to the credit union, we're able to make our dream come true.
Being first-time home buyers, this was an extremely awesome experience.
It was only a couple of years ago that $178 million was pumped into Phoenix Raceway here in Avondale, Arizona to become an entertainment hub. More than just NASCAR and now the NASCAR Championship, events, graduations, expos, and more have come to the Valley. Along with that $178 million came a brand new track president out of a good old farm up north. Our own Claudia Collins caught up with track president Julie Giese.
Julie, first time we're chatting. And the first thing that I know about you is that you're from Wisconsin and grew up on a dairy farm and then eventually went on to get a degree in agriculture. So where does racing fit into this upbringing?
It's a great question. I grew up a race fan. I'm still a race fan. I say I'm very blessed. I get to drive to a racetrack every day for work. It's not really work when you get to do that. But yeah, I grew up on a dairy farm. Agriculture was what I knew. I had an internship one summer at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and I was an animal science major and realized that sitting behind a microscope in a lab all day long was definitely not what I wanted to do. So started to really explore some different opportunities and try to figure out what I wanted to do. And that's when racing really started to kind of take hold in my mind and decided that was what I wanted to do. And here I am.
What did you feel like was your first foot in the door when it did click that you could do it?
So when I graduated college, I sent my resume out to all of the racetracks and I got a lot of rejection letters. I kept those rejection letters for some reason. I think the race fan in me really appreciated the fact that I had a letter from a racetrack with a logo on it. But, I got a job in an agency in Minneapolis and really just kept networking and wanted people to know that this was a dream of mine. I wanted to work in racing. And luck would have it, one of my coworkers had a friend who was working at Watkins Glen International. He called saying that they had an open PR position and actually was asking her if she was interested. She wasn't, but she knew I had the interest in racing and passed it along. So I moved to upstate New York in January of 2001 in an entry-level role. And I'll never forget that first day driving into the racetrack and thinking, wow, this is real.
So you started at an entry-level role, but then you ended up in Daytona, which is kind of like the mecca for racing. So when did that present itself and were you just so excited?
Yeah, the weather there is much nicer than the Midwest and upstate New York, but Watkins Glen's just a really great training ground. You're a small team and you all learned how to do everything. And so to me, there was endless opportunities for me to just get my feet wet and learn the sport. And so when the opportunity presented itself to move down to Daytona and work on the marketing team, I jumped at it. And during my last few years at Daytona, I was working on the Daytona Rising project, which was our $400 million renovation project, and really started to become kind of that project manager for our construction team. So they asked, once we finished Daytona, if I would join their team as they were getting ready to actually work on the project here at Phoenix Raceway. So I spent a couple years on the construction side of our business, and then from there came here in 2018 as the new track president.
So what is your vision for Phoenix Raceway, let's say 5 years from now?
I've said I want Phoenix Raceway. I mean, we're a racetrack. We're always going to be a racetrack, but I want to be an entertainment destination. We have the venue that can do that. I want to host concerts and festivals and different community events. We've had an off-road expo. We've done some wedding receptions in our barn venue. So we want to be that entertainment destination. We'll always first and foremost be a racetrack, and we're going to host the NASCAR Championship for as long as they'll let us. But we want people to think about Phoenix Raceway as a venue for other things as well.
I'm Jordan Spurgeon, and as we continue gearing up for the NASCAR Cup Series Championship inside Phoenix Raceway, it's only right that we highlight one member of the 2020 championship team who was born and raised in Arizona.
You can't really write a better story than that, is where you get to go to your hometown, your home state, and go compete for a championship, let alone win it. So it was an absolute blast and just one of the most incredible things ever.
John Giannotto is a fueler for Hendrick Motorsports driver Chase Elliott. However, he didn't always picture himself in this spot.
It's a great opportunity. It's a sport. You're still on a team, and you get to be competitive. You can't ask for anything more.
Giannotto played high school football at Catalina Foothills in Tucson and then played college at UNLV. During an NFL tryout with the Carolina Panthers, he was offered a job opportunity as a NASCAR fueler.
I met the coach that was here at Hendrick Motorsports, Chris Berkey, and he said, if it's something that you want to do, come on in, we'll do a little tryout, see if it's going to work for both of us. And, luckily everything worked out, and here I am 10 years later.
Being the gas man is taxing, so he spends a lot of time training.
It's very similar to football, where we'll debrief, we'll watch all our film, and then we'll work out 3 to 4 times a week. Obviously, when the car's coming down, your heart's going to get pumping. You have that adrenaline kind of push through, but doing what we have to do out here on the field that we have, the weight room, all that kind of stuff. So when the time comes, you can do your job and, do it the best abilities.
And Giannotto does do it to the best of his abilities. In fact, he has a world record to show for it. He refueled 148 cars in just 1 hour. Impressive to say the least, but he most enjoys the team aspect of working in the pit.
We have our 4 or 5 guys that do the pit stop, but we also have another 10 guys that help us behind the wall and set up the car, and just being in that environment and still being on a team, it's really nothing, we can't beat that feeling of accomplishing a goal together.
Now, a repeat championship in Phoenix is on his mind.
It's going to be a little bit different, right? I think the first time you get to Phoenix and you're in the championship, it's super, we're going to be locked in, we're ready to defend our championship, but it kind of seemed like it went by really fast. Maybe, savor it a little bit more and really seize the opportunity. I would love to get another one.
For Sports360AZ, I'm Jordan Spurgeon.
Coming up, the Daytona 500 champion Michael McDowell from Glendale, Arizona, will chauffeur us a few laps around Phoenix Raceway. Be sure to check out Sports360AZ.com, high school, college, and pro sports in the great state of Arizona.
I'd like to sign up for free checking.
There are no fees, no minimum balance, and you get more.
And more?
Yes. Life is busy. Your hands are full. But with Desert Financial, they're full of cash, convenience, community, and more.
The Defiance knee brace has been our go-to, and each one of our offensive linemen and defensive linemen are in those for every single contact practice that we have.
The most used products in our athletic training room for our players, of course, the Defiance brace, which is a custom brace.
What was really important, obviously, for years, we mainly saw the knee braces and the linemen and athletes. As soon as they put on the A22, they immediately were comfortable in participating in that.
Fall into savings at Burge Volkswagen. The fall leaves and amazing views await you in your new 2022 Taos S for as low as $219 a month, or the all-new Volkswagen ID4 Pro for only $379 a month. It's functional, fun, and looks as good as it feels. Or get a versatile Tiguan S for just $269 a month. Fall into the savings now at Burge Volkswagen, where your trade-in is worth thousands more than you might think. Burge Volkswagen, Baseline and Country Club, and BurgeVW.com.
How do you play? By feeding your inner foodie? Or checking in and kicking back? By letting it ride? Or by diving right in? For all the ways you play, play your way at Harrah's Auction Casino in Maricopa. Play for all.
I found this home and it was just perfect. We talked about our financial options on how to acquire the house.
Thanks to the credit union, we were able to make our dream come true.
Being first-time home buyers, this was an extremely awesome experience.
So by this time on Sunday, someone will have already crossed that giant green saguaro on the front straightaway and had their name written in the record books as a NASCAR Cup Series champion at Phoenix Raceway. Now, I wanted to give you guys some sort of feel as to, okay, what does it feel like to run at this 1 mile dog-legged oval? Well, to do that, we recruited the 2021 Daytona 500 champion and also the Glendale, Arizona native, Michael Mcdowell, to take us for some virtual laps around the track via the iRacing Motorsports Simulator.
Passing the old start-finish line into turn 3, right down to the line, trying to hold it as long as you can, getting back on the gas, using up all the track, start-finish line, through the dog leg, hard on the brakes, easing it down into turn 1. You can get below the apron here, use a little bit of the flat, kind of helps the car turn. Hard on the brakes. Try to get off the brakes pretty quick down in here. There's a lap right there. Well, you're right there with me. We'll have to go a little faster here.
I'm trying my best. We had that go-kart experience over at Octane. That was the #1 thing that I couldn't do, keep up with the real-life NASCAR driver. I guess in the virtual world, I have a better chance of doing it, though. When it comes to you guys in the cockpit, the fans in the stands and the fans watching on TV, they don't get the full experience. So inside the cockpit, what are some difficulties that you guys face that guys watching the race, they just don't really understand, they can't really comprehend just watching from the outside?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just how slick this track is, especially with our low downforce. So you're constantly fighting the wheel, trying not to slide the tires too much, but trying to get the most out of it, which is a lot of fun. But it's a hard day. You're working hard behind the wheel, trying not to make mistakes, get a little loose there, always chasing it, always fighting it, and just not losing your concentration. This track in particular, because it's so easy to miss your line and get up in the dirt, and obviously with the wind and the desert there, you have a lot of sand and dust on outside the lanes.
So this time through the dog leg, talk me through, how is it actually this violent when you guys are cutting the dog leg?
Yeah, it's definitely violent, especially if you come up the racetrack like here at the exit and then come down. You know, the car bounces quite a bit there and then wants to jump sideways when you come back onto the racetrack. So you definitely have to be easy when you transition back on, and when you're 3 wide and you got cars on your outside, that's even harder. You know, there is some time to be gained there. You lose a little bit of momentum, but obviously you're running a much shorter distance. But man, it does a number on the underside of the race car for sure when you drop down like that.
What is the key for those 4 drivers to pass the giant saguaro first and be a Cup Series champion?
Oh man, I think it's going to take executing restarts perfectly. I mean, you know, this race at times can get kind of strung out and long green flag runs, but I think when you're talking about, you know, the championship in the final round, the intensity is going to be so high up there that you're going to have to execute. You're going to have to be good, not only on the long run, but the short run. And, you know, I'm excited. I'm excited for everybody at Phoenix to have the championship round, have a champion crowned in Phoenix.
Man, I tell you what, this was fun, being able to kind of get a talking to from a professional driver how to run here. We'll go ahead and go park these Ford Mustangs down in the pits. Michael, man, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate this. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a lot of fun, Devin. Appreciate it.
A big thank you to Michael Mcdowell for taking some virtual laps with us here around Phoenix Raceway. And for those of you guys maybe a little bit new to NASCAR, here are a few drivers you can root for this weekend, all from the state of Arizona. Featured in Saturday's ARCA West Series race is Bobby Hillis Jr., an Arizona transplant who has raced in the West Series since 2001. The Fierce Creature Racing team is comprised of volunteers who travel the West Coast with Hillis to race in this regional series. When asked why he races all year long with these young whippersnappers, he simply said he would rather be racing in the series than watching it. If you are looking for the ultimate underdog, just find that neon number 27. Saturday's Xfinity Series race features one of the most accomplished race car drivers to hail from the state of Arizona, J.J. Yaley. The Phoenix native stands alongside Tony Stewart as the only drivers to win USAC's Triple Crown, 3 championships in 3 different disciplines, all in the same season. Yaley will pilot the SS Greenlight Racing number 07 on Saturday night. The champion returns home. The victor of the 2021 Daytona 500, Michael Mcdowell, looks to close out a career year with a great run at home. The Glendale native earned his first career Cup Series win in the most prestigious event in NASCAR for Front Row Motorsports, becoming just the 40th different driver to win the Great American Race since 1959. Fresh off of a boxing match victory last Sunday at Martinsville, the winningest driver in NASCAR from the state of Arizona returns a few hours north of home. Tucson's Alex Bowman now holds 4 victories in the Cup Series, the second most wins of any driver in 2021. While the Hendrick Motorsports driver will not be racing for a championship, he feels confident coming to Phoenix, where he almost won substituting for Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 2016. He feels like his home track owes him one, and he would love to spoil the NASCAR championship race at Phoenix Raceway. On Sunday night, one driver will lift that giant, heavy NASCAR Cup Series championship trophy. 3 more will have to start a season anew in February and do it all over again. Thank you for joining me here tonight on Sports360AZ. I am Devin Henry. Keep it to Sports360AZ.com for Sunday's NASCAR championship race right here in Avondale, Arizona. Have a great night, everyone.
I'd like to sign up for free checking.
Happy to help. There are no fees, no minimum balance, and you get more.
And more?
Yes, you get an annual bonus and cash back and mobile apps and voice banking and you get to support the community.
I should have brought a bigger purse.
Life is busy. Your hands are full. But with Desert Financial, they're full of cash, convenience, community, and more.
I had a hard time finding a job. My father was an electrician out of Local 640. He suggested I join the apprenticeship. I joined it and I'm glad I did. I think up to this point, it's been the best decision I've made so far.
You come here, work with your hands, and you go to school and read about it. So everything kind of clicks.
Being in a job, getting schooling, and getting paid while you're doing it.
We are
IBEW.
IBEW.
Local 640.
Local 640.
Bienvenidos.
Here in the heart of the American Southwest, you'll find 3 well-known restaurants all named Valle Luna, serving the finest Sonoran-style Mexican food known across the country and beyond. And we're open for business, so come on in. We've fired up the grill and iced down the refreshments and even added some specialties along the way.
Thanks for coming.
Hello. Greetings.
Welcome back.
No matter where you're from or how you say it, at Valle Luna, you're always welcome, and we're glad to have you back.
I found this home and it was just perfect. We talked about our financial options on how to acquire the house.
Thanks to the credit union, we were able to make our dream come true.
Being first-time home buyers, this was an extremely awesome experience.